If you're a senior, you want to maintain your strength as long as possible so you can do the things you love to do, whether that's gardening or traveling or hiking or golf or tennis, and you want to do it without going to the gym. That's exactly what we're going to cover in this video. We're going to cover strength training exercises that don't involve you getting a gym membership or going to the gym. I am going to make a couple of assumptions though. Assumption number one is that you have dumbbells at home. Assumption number two is you have resistance bands at home. And if you don't, they are probably the two most beneficial pieces of equipment you can get for a home gym because they are durable, they are versatile, and they're inexpensive. One of the most important exercises that a senior can do is squats. A lot of our clients who are seniors complain that they have a hard time getting off chairs, toilets, couches, etc. Why? Usually that's because their thigh muscles are weak, and that can cause pain within the knees or the hips, and so doing squats strengthens the quadriceps muscles. However, most people do squats incorrectly. What they'll do is they'll go halfway down and back up. That's not the way to go. You want to go down as low as possible. You want to get your butt to your heels. And I know what you might be thinking. I'm a senior, I can't do that. Well, there are ways of getting there. That's your goal, to be able to get your butt to your heels. So how do you work up to it? You start with something called assisted squats. You would hold on to a bar or something steady or immovable like door handles, anything that's not going to move, and you use that to offset some of your weight. You'll find that when you hold on to something, you are able to get down all the way, usually pain-free, and then get back up. After about 2 or 3 workouts of doing that, try doing it without holding on to anything and actually going down below the level of the couch or the chair. Squats work the muscles predominantly of the quadriceps, that's the front of your thighs, and secondarily your glutes, and to a much lesser extent, your hamstrings, the muscles on the backs of your thighs. So this is one extremely important exercise to do if you're a senior. Another important exercise to do is lunges. Lunges are almost like a 1.5-legged squat. They work very similar muscles to squats, as in they work the quadriceps and the glutes, but the reason they're important is because they are done one leg at a time. One of the most critical skills for a senior to be able to do is to be able to get up from lying to standing. A lot of seniors will find that they have a problem with that. And if there's nobody around at home, they're going to be in a lot of trouble, unless they have the strength to get themselves off the ground. Lunges help you get that strength. You don't need to do squats and lunges in the same program because lunges are a progression of squats. Once you find squats to be easy, once you've been doing them for between 2 and 6 months, you can move on to lunges. Another important exercise to do is push-ups. Push-ups work the muscles of the chest, the front of the shoulder, and the back of the arm. And the reason that they're so important is because you use those muscles in everyday life. For example, if you ever mow your lawn, those are the muscles that you're using. If you ever shovel snow, those are the muscles that you're using. So very important to have strength training carry over to your life outside the gym and not just be gym strong, but life weak. Another great exercise is lat pull-downs. As the name implies, lat pull-downs, one of the 2 muscles they work is the lats, these back muscles, and the other one predominantly is the biceps, the muscle in the front of your arms. And the way you do them is you take a resistance band, you put it around your door, and you have a seat on a chair in front of the door. You pull it down with your fists towards your shoulders and then back up until your elbows are straight. And that's how you do lat pull downs without a lat pull down machine. Another important exercise for seniors is overhead presses. You can do this with either dumbbells or resistance bands. So I'll give you an example with dumbbells. You take 2 dumbbells and you raise them up and back down. Up and back down. This exercise works the muscles of the shoulders, the side, as well as the triceps. And the reason that that is important is because it helps you, for example, put heavy things on cupboards that are high up. If you have soup cans, if you have water bottles, etc., and you want to reach for a top cupboard, you want to do that A, without difficulty, and B, without injury. By doing overhead presses, this helps carry over to your life outside the gym. Another important exercise is rows. Whether that's bent over rows, 1-arm bent over rows, inverted rows, all kinds of rows are good. They work the muscles of the upper forearm as well as the muscles between the shoulder blades. Those are very, very good for your posture. Now, how does that translate to your life outside the gym? One example is lots of restaurants, malls, etc. They have doors that are very difficult to open. And those are the muscles that you're using when you're doing rows. So again, that's the carryover from gym to everyday life. And a final exercise that is absolutely important for seniors to do is deadlifts. Now, deadlifts scare a lot of seniors because they think I'm going to hurt my back. Well, not if you do it with the right technique, which I have published another video about this very topic. Deadlifts work the muscles of the glutes predominantly, and to a lesser extent, the hamstrings and the lower back. The reason they're so important is because how many times do you pick things off the ground? Very, very frequently. Now, if your lower back and glute muscles are weak, all this picking stuff off the ground is going to really tire you out. However, if you straighten your glutes and lower back and your hamstrings, that stuff gets a lot easier and more pain-free and a lower likelihood of injury, because strength training is very protective against injury. Also, one of the biggest risks to lower back injuries is the inability to distinguish hip motion from lower back motion. Deadlifts help you make that distinction. And if deadlifts and all of these exercises scare the bejesus out of you and you have no clue how to do them properly, how to progress them, etc., we do that exactly for our clients over 50. And the way you can see whether you qualify for our services is by clicking on the link in the description below, which will take you to our homepage where you can schedule a complimentary, no pressure, no sales pitch, 10 to 15 minute Zoom chat where we can see whether or not we can work with you. So now you know which exercises to do, but the devil is in the details. You want to know what we call the exercise prescription, the FITT, frequency, intensity, time, and type. The type is obvious, that's strength training. Frequency, how often should you do it? Do these exercises between 2 and 4 times per week. The number of sets and repetitions should be between 2 and 4 sets of approximately 10 to 15 repetitions. What about the intensity? On your last repetition, you have to ask yourself, how many more repetitions could I have done? Your answer should be, I think I could have only done maybe 1 more. If you think you could have done 2 more, the weight was too light. Now, if you can't even do 10 repetitions, the weight was too heavy, but most people don't have to worry about going too heavy. Most people are way too conservative with their weights, so it's important to increase it. The real secret sauce of any exercise program is the progression. You don't want to do your weights on the first workout and think that those are the weights that you're going to do forever. You want to increase your weights relatively frequently. Every second or third workout, try to make the exercise ever so slightly harder, whether that's by either increasing the repetitions or by increasing the weights. And don't be shy about increasing the weights. You don't want to increase your repetitions forever. You only want to increase them up to 15. Once you can do 15, raise the weight and start the set back at 10 repetitions. If you like this information and you want to dive way deeper into this, I have a free newsletter for people over 50. And if you like, you can subscribe by clicking on the link below in the description.